Hey there, gang. What's going on, coaches? Amazing coaches, thrivers. I'm just so happy to be here. It's Friday. It's the end of another week, or for some of you, it's not the end yet because you guys do some things on Saturday and Sunday getting things going. Really excited about everything that's gone on so far this week. I started my morning very early, and I'm going to share resources. As Carissa and I do videos and things like that. We're going to share resources, some great tools. So let me grab something really quick. It is a book that I started my morning with, and I dropped this on my personal profile there. And hey, if you're here, if you're watching, just drop a quick hey, Julio, great to see you. So this is a book that I started my morning with. It's called Destined to Win, which I absolutely love. Destined to Win. And one of the things that I highlighted in this book, I actually posted about that. Renee, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome here. You are home, Renee. This is the place for you. You belong here. I love that you're here. So this is the place for you, and we're gonna just pour into you. And of course, you're always pouring into others. So I'm excited to see you here, Renee. So I'm reading this book called Destined to Win. It's awesome, by the way, but here, what you see here, I posted this on my personal profile, so you can check it out if you want to see the picture. But basically what it says is, Julio, great to see you. What it says is this. Actually, let me tell you. It says something very powerful. It says that the people around you would cause you to become a different person. So in this case, specifically, it says, because meeting his people changed him into another man. The man he needed to be to lead his people. So basically I was reading it, and in the context of it, it's kind of like a biblical story about Saul, and I don't want to get into that right now on this call, but basically what the gist of it is this, is that you are called to serve a certain people. You're here for a passion. You're here for a purpose. You're here to serve people, to change amazing lives. You're here to do that, and only you can do that. But here's the deal. If you're in the wrong environment, that's not going to happen, because the wrong environment is going to take you down a path that isn't what needs to happen for you to accomplish this mission you're on, right? And so the wrong environment is going to actually slow down the pace, not accelerate you, so that you do serve the people at this high level. So number one is your environment is going to be key, right? The second thing is who's mentoring you, who's teaching you, who's showing you, who's pouring their life into you. Who's duplicating themselves into you, and is that the type of lifestyle, is that the type of mission that you want to be behind, right? So we all have choices. There's so many people out there that are great teachers, great mentors, great marketers, salespeople, all that great stuff. In fact, yesterday I was on a sales call. For some of you, you know that I went to a NLP training, neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. It's about the way you communicate. It's about the way that the mind utilizes the words that we use, the communication, and the power of the mind, and it's amazing. So anyway, I connected with the speaker, and we had a strategy call yesterday. We walked kind of through some things, and he made his pitch, and it was 5K, and I was like, okay, you know what? It's not what I'm looking for right now. So he knows what I do, so he's like, all right, cool, I can totally get that. So we worked it out. It was awesome. It's a great connection nonetheless. But then he asked me, he's like, hey, I know that you do these enrollment calls. What is there anything that I did right, did wrong? And I'm like, here, I'm going to tell you this, because if I give you some advice, if I lead you in this direction, it's going to help you serve more people. And I'm like, when you made your offer to me, I'll be honest with you, you could have overcome some of my objections. But when you were into the conversation, this is the topic of this Facebook Live, is clarity comes from conversation. So during the conversation, you were very connected to me. You were listening to me. You valued what I had to say. You understood my problems. You understood the opportunities. The moment you came to make an offer, suddenly you got into the mechanics of what you do. Disconnected from the conversation that we were already having. And it's as if I was talking to a different person. And so I'm like, if you get this right, it's not only going to help your business, but it's going to help you actually take on the clients who need exactly what you have to offer. Maybe that was me. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen right now, but it could happen in the future. But just right now, it's a no. So I was talking through that. So I know that Timothy's in this group, and he was asking another group. He's like, I do so much. He's one of the original members of what was it, HostGator. So he's one of the original people that launched HostGator, the hosting company, before it was sold. Amazing mind for business, amazing mind for marketing, amazing guy, right? And so his question was like, I don't even know, I got so much that I'm doing, I don't know where the gold is. And so that really is what inspired this, is the gold is in the conversations. Because sometimes we try to get this sexy language around our offer and what we do and how we serve and all that stuff. Sometimes we try to get really fancy with it, and that's all good. But what has to drive that sexy verbiage is actually issues that arise when we have conversations with actual people. Because the more conversations we have, whether they result in a sale right now or not, and this is for all of you who are coaches, as you have conversations with actual people, you start realizing that there's gaps, and it starts screaming at you what you need to do for them and where your superpower is. Because otherwise, we're like trying to manufacture what we do. I build websites. Well, I do coaching. I can help you with your health. Well, I'm a sex coach. I'm a sex therapist. That was yes, a conversation that was in this group a couple of days ago with Elizabeth, and she's like, I encountered this amazing transformation in the area of sexuality, and I want to bring that to my health coaching. And it's a great fit. It's an alignment, right? But it's in the conversations that we see how it shows up for the people that we serve, because they start identifying how they relate to their problems, and all we are is a conduit to find them where they're at in this problem and lead them to where they want to go. For some, it might involve that sex advice. For others, it doesn't. And you don't even need to go down that path, right? So the way that we're going to determine what's the path to take is actually getting into conversation. Sorry, my screen just turned off, so the lighting changed. So sorry about that. But the way we're going to determine what we do, our superpower, the transformation that we make, like we have to have some kind of basis of what we do. Like I'm just not a coach of every area, though I can influence every area. But by now, because I've had so many conversations, I know based on conversations, based on these things that are the biggest needs of the market, I realize like, oh, this is the area that I can fit. This is how I attract people. This is how I get people to say, yes, I want to work with you. So for me, if I were to sum up what I do very quickly, and it doesn't entail everything that I do, and some of you know me and you know that I get into much more than this, but the hook is this: I help you structure, sell, and scale premium offers with ease, so it doesn't overcome your life. Right? That's what I do. Why is that last piece important? Because a lot of people are trying to do all that, and it's getting in the way of their family. It's getting in the way of their freedom. It's getting in the way of their time, the things that they want to do. And so that last piece was actually bolted on, because before I would focus just on the marketing stuff. But when I got beyond why they want this thing, it was about the freedom. It was about more family time. It was about them not having to sacrifice their time being a mother, being a father, being a spouse, being a brother, a sibling, a parent, whatever the case is. They didn't want to sacrifice that anymore because they had gone that route already. So I'll show you the marketing stuff, the offer stuff, the pricing stuff, so that you can do this thing, right? I didn't know this last piece was even valuable. In fact, I figured it out on my own over time, and I still didn't know it was valuable for other people. I was just kind of doing it on my own. And I realized after conversations, wow, this is a big pain point. This is what I'm going to start addressing then. And then when they come on as clients, then I can address other things like marriage sometimes it comes to communication, oftentimes funnels and marketing and pricing and confidence and mindset. But I don't lead with that stuff, because after having many conversations, even conversations that didn't lead to a sale, the answers started revealing themselves to me, and that's where clarity came. And so many of us as coaches, we want that clarity up front without doing the work. And the work comes from conversations. And really, in essence, it's not work at all, because all we're doing is connecting with people. And for you who are here in this group and Coach Growers, like, it's about the impact anyway. So the price of admission to be a great coach, to have the clarity that you need, to get your marketing message dialed in, the cost for admission is you actually getting into conversations and serving people. Like, I'll do that all day long. I do it anyway. I go to a coffee shop. The other day I was in an Uber, taking an Uber to my son's school. And, I'm talking to the driver, and we're talking about marriage and stuff like that. And I just I've been married 18 years now. And so I dropped a little nugget on him. We're in a Uber ride, right? So I'm like, man, here's the thing. Here's what changed our marriage. What changed our marriage is the moment that I made it my mission to make life exceedingly better for my wife with me, now that she's married to me, than it would have been without me. That changed everything because it removed me from the selfishness that sometimes we come into relationships with. What do I get out of this? When I shifted that, it changed it. And I was like, what can I give her out of this? And I became a recipient of that as well. But anyway, I shared that. It's something I took for granted. It's something that I figured out and I was doing, and almost like I didn't see the value of it for other people, but I definitely saw it for me. So I shared this with him, got off the Uber ride. He's like, man, I wasn't supposed to be on this. I literally just got out of work. I was supposed to be home by now. I was going to turn it off, but because I forgot to turn the thing off, it took you on as a ride. And this is the exact conversation I needed, right? So we do this stuff anyway. And it's that conversation. It's those conversations that we have that give us the clarity that we need to connect with our audience, to build that rapport, to build that trust, to build that clarity. That happens through conversations. It doesn't happen up front by just theory. Because theoretically, we could sit down and think of all these amazing things we could do, but it's in the conversations. It's in those magical moments where you get the breakthrough that you need so that you can connect with people, make it easy for them to say, yeah, you know what, Alex, you are the one that I have to work with. You know what, Carissa, you're the one I have to work with. Renee, I have to work with you because you understand me. And the reason we understand them is because we actually do. We've taken the time, we've paid the price to get on these conversations with them and know what makes them tick. And so that brings the clarity. So if you're looking for clarity in your coaching right now, it happens through conversations. Even the no's, even the ones that don't buy right now, becomes an asset to you, becomes something that you get to build on. Does that make sense, guys? And hopefully it does. I got to drop off because I got a call right now. But Renee says, so powerful. You have a gift during Uber rides. We did one. Yeah, Renee, we were on an Uber ride and we just, conversation, right? It was that conversation I had with you on our ride together that changed everything. Look at that. An Uber ride. I'm just going to professionally, I'm going to ride Uber rides all day long. Like that's my prospecting. So if you need a funnel, forget all that. The new strategy is ride Uber, right? Or Lyft or whatever the case is. Renee, so happy to have you here. I'm going to jump off, guys. But type in the comments if you have questions, if you want to go deeper into this. We could spend a little bit more time. It was just kind of off the cuff. But those conversations are everything. That's what gives us the gold. If you're trying to Uber coaching, absolutely. So Renee, happy to have you here. You're surrounded by your type of peeps. So I'm really excited to have you here, guys. That's all I got. I might jump on later. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe take an Uber ride. Who knows? But anyway, love you guys. You belong here. You're needed in this world. And we're here. Carissa and I are here to support you and get your magic to more people because there's lives at stake right now that you can definitely help transform. And so we want to help you create those opportunities. All right, guys. That's all I got. See you.